Now for this one, this is something you could see on the ACT. We want to say which one of these original logs is equivalent to this expanded log. So we want to work backwards with this one, and we can do that because it's all numbers. So we have log 9 plus 3 log 2 minus log 3. Now, if this were an ACT question, I wouldn't even use my properties because I notice right away that there's no base there. That means there's a base 10. In base 10s, you can use your calculator. So for an ACT strategy, I would actually use my calculator for this, and then use my calculator for each of these multiple choices, and I would see which ones match. That's a way you could do it, and I'm fine with that. However, in case you don't have a base 10, here's where you want to use those properties. Right away, I'm going to look and see, oh, I have a number in front. That must mean that that was an exponent. So I'm going to compress it back a little more. I'm going to say that 3 times the log of 2 is the same as log 2 to the third. And I'm working backwards. Okay? We know what 2 to the third is. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2, or 8. So that's log 9 plus log 8 minus log 3. Okay? Now I'm going to say, well, these logs have the same base, just different numbers there, and we're adding. That goes with our product rule. Whenever you're adding 2 logs with the same base, you can just multiply those numbers. So I can compress this a little bit into log base 10 of 9 times 8. And you still have your log of 3. 9 times 8 is still 72. So we have log of 72 minus log of 3. The very last thing I'll notice is I have same bases, and I'm subtracting. That goes with our quotient rule. I'm going to rewrite this into the log of 72 divided by 3. And we're working backwards here. We're using those log rules. Okay? 72 divided by 3 is 24. So we go log of 24. And you don't have to evaluate it. You could, but all of our choices involve a log. So we see that our answer is D. Okay, so this is the change of base formula. This is a formula that I would use if I have a different base other than 10. We can change that now, okay? So if we have, and this C stands for some base, so let's say we had log base 4 of 8. I can rewrite that using a base that I want. And that's going to be a base 10, because base 10 goes in your calculator. We can rewrite that as the log of 8, and you would leave that as base 10, you just make that the base you want, over the log of your original base, 4. Okay? And you also can do that to turn a logarithm into a natural logarithm. It just depends on what you're asked to do. And we'll do an example with that next. Okay, so if you needed to see that slide again, please look in your book or look back at that slide to write down those formulas. But we're going to use it right now. We want to change log base 3 of 8 to a common logarithm, and that's that base 10. So we're going to use our change of base formula. That tells me to take the log of my number and then write in my new base, which is 10. Again, you don't really have to put 10 there when it's not there. It's kind of understood that it is a 10. It's kind of like that phantom 1 in algebra. Okay, so log of the base you want of 8 divided by log of the base you want. It's got to be the same base of your original base, 3. And now you can just plug that right into your calculator. You can go log of 8, which is 0.9031, divided by log of 3, which is 0.4771. And that, when you divide that in your calculator, should give you 1.893. Remember, when they say evaluate, it's okay to get a decimal. I want you guys to try changing this same logarithm into a natural logarithm with the base e. You should end up with the same answer. Go ahead and give it a try, and I'll show the answer in just a second. Okay, so the way you actually use the natural logarithm, same way as the other one with the base 10. We're going to rewrite it with ln, that stands for the natural logarithm, and again, it's kind of the same thing as a regular logarithm. It just has, instead of a base 10, this is the base e. Okay, so we rewrite it as the ln, the natural log of 8, okay, divided by the natural log of your original base there. When you do evaluate those natural logs, you get different numbers, but you can see when you divide them, you end up with the same answer. Okay, so it's the same thing, it's just you have a different base. Now this would be a really good chapter for you guys to try a few random problems out of the homework. Please bring your questions to class tomorrow.